Green people, crab people, blue heavy metal people. Green people, crab people, blue heavy metal people. Green people, crab people, blue heavy metal people.
Hey there guys, this is me, Malorian, and this one should be great. Now first of all, if you guys are a little bit worried about the length of this video, keep in mind this is 5 battle reports. This is coming from Grotscon 2016, and normally what they call this is the last chance qualifier, but for me it's going to be the no chance qualifier because this is the one where I got my kids to make my list. If you guys haven't seen the video already, I posted up where I just basically let them go through and pick what they want to be in my list, and we're going to see how this goes. So they each have their own list. My hope for this one here is to win 2 games out of the whole thing, and if I do that, that's great. As a secondary objective, I want to win once with each list, but to be honest, the one that you're looking at right now I feel is the most competitive, and this is this Haley 3 list where, of course, with her and knocking things down and stuff and then shooting them up with these other stuff, that can actually be a real thing. So I'm going to be taking this, and we'll see how it does in game 1. And in game 1, I'm actually going to be up against this guy, Steve. Now, Steve, we were like chatting beforehand, and so when they did the first pairing, it's like, oh, it's Brian versus Steve. It's like, oh, wow, that's crazy. So he's doing Butcher 3, and that's really, really bad for me. He can get in, he can kill all my stuff. The range assassination probably won't work on him. So I'm just going to cross my fingers and maybe I'll get a chance. But if nothing else, again, guys, I want to be completely clear here that I'm just looking to have some fun. So with this one here, we are set up with the 2 flags. He is taking a build here that has the Ruin and 2 Juggernauts. And so that's going to take a lot of punch right there just to take those out. And then, of course, there's also Butcher 3. So this will be very, very dangerous and hard to deal with. So luckily, I get the first turn. I get up the board. I bring in my 2 other versions of my Haleys. I have my Temporal Flux up. By the way, the prey for my Blithen Bull is going to be the rightmost Juggernaut. That's the shield wall token you see there. And that's really just to maybe do some damage, but also I'm going to need to delay things and push them back. So unfortunately, I'm not really close to where they are right now because I need to grab some cover, but that's the idea there. So on his turn, he gets his pikemen up there. They're in shield wall. They have some clouds on them. Yeah, he also energized up a bit, took some shots at me. Didn't really do too much. But the big thing I noticed here is that Butcher 3 is actually staying way far back, and that's fantastic. You know, he could literally probably just cram Butcher 3 down my throat, and there's not much I could do, because once he kills Stormwall, I can't really kill him. And so what's happening here, though, is it looks like he's a little bit scared of my assassination. So I'm going to take advantage of this, start trying to shoot down his jacks, and then try and get to him later. And so that's what I do, but another thing I do as well is go up there with Baby Haley, who does a Force Hammer, which knocks one of the jacks into another jack, knocking them down. That'll slow them up. Actually do some pretty significant damage to him, so I believe his movement or his cortex is out, so that's pretty nice. Otherwise, I shot down Saxon on the right because Pew 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 Future Haley has future or true sight, and that's really it. Gets a little bit of covering fire, and yeah, that's all I can do. So on his turn, he decides to get a little bit risky here, and he really doesn't like Baby Haley and all the slams, and so he does a little bit of energizing, and then Ruin makes a charge here, but fails the charge. So he would have been in range if he would have charged the Thunderhead, but he got a little bit greedy. These are his words, and yeah, now he kind of lost this Ruin. So otherwise, it looks a little bit like this. His models try to get a little bit further up the board, work their way around, try to make some attacks against my Haleys, but again, crazy high defense. And again, look at this, how far Butcher 3 is staying back. So now I'm really going to look forward to basically use this turn to kill off all these jacks, but I also have to make sure I keep the Stormwall alive. Except that I screw up my turn, because I start my turn with trying to do something cool, and I move over Blithen Bull to do some shooting, and realized I hadn't allocated focus yet. So that was good and stupid. So otherwise, Blith and Bull kind of shoot, and they have beat back on Bull's gun, so that pushes back the Jack there. But Blith actually gets a lucky shot and kills Orin Midwinter, and that was massive. That was huge. Otherwise, I do some pretty good damage against the Jacks. Like, already the one Jack that got a little bit pushed back, that was the one where his movement was out. The Juggernaut on the left, you know, I think he's lost a few systems. Ruin is really messed up right now, so I really should have been a lot better this turn off and probably killed off like more of his guys, like all of his heavies probably. But hey, I forgot to allocate focus, so I'm done. So on his turn, he doesn't really get too much done coming back. A little bit of damage against the Thunderhead there, but again, not too bad. On the right, he tries making some stabs against Future Haley, but doesn't really get anything done, mainly because as well, to try and get some more work done, I'd pop my feet to try and give Baby Haley some extra attacks, and so she's camping her 6, so her armor is 20 right now, and Butcher 3 still staying back, so I think because of that, I'm getting pretty lucky, and now I want to capitalize and get Ruin off of me and pulse with Thunderhead and start killing all these infantry and getting these heavies out of my way. Now, right now, that little proxy base is between the two Jacks there. That's actually the Juggernaut you see back by the flag. But don't worry, because I'm going to come in and I'm going to slam Ruin into that Jack, which is going to destroy it. So now it's an actual wreck marker, and that frees up Thunderhead to come over and pulse. And so once that's all done, a whole bunch of those guys are dead. I kill off Ruin. The other Juggernaut is a little bit more hurt as well, and things are just really starting to come together. And now, if Butcher goes after Thunderhead, he'll be within range of the Storm Wall. So on his turn, he doesn't even really go for that. Like, he is being very conservative with Butcher 3, where he kind of comes over here to the right, makes some attacks on Thunderhead, but he's still alive and kicking. So, again, he really could have done a lot more. Like, Butcher really only killed Future Haley, and I can just bring her back for 2 points. So again, I think he's just kind of not having his priorities because he's not used to facing Haley 3. But now I'm in a really good spot just to keep on cleaning up. And so that's what I do. I kill off the last of the Juggernauts, kill more of the guys around here. I don't want to kill any Arguses or anything, but little Rock Bottom runs up there to get control points. That's nice. But now Butcher is really close, so I'm getting a little bit scared. So Haley's going to be running away. But as well, at this point as well, his clock is starting to get pretty low. So on his turn, he's going to come over to contest with a dog, kill the Thunderhead, but unfortunately the way that he has it set up is he's not scoring on his yet because, you know, the unit for Butcher 3, the one Argus that's contesting is too far away, and other things aren't touching or under half, so it's still 1-0, and at this point here, like I say, he's really low on points, or time rather, so I'm just going to jam and leave it like that. So that's what I do. I really do nothing but run my guys into him. And then he comes and starts trying to kill me with Butcher, but he is going to clock, and that's going to be the first game. So I really felt I got pretty lucky to get the win here. Again, I was just trying to get 2 wins over the whole thing, and I got one here now. And this one really only happened because he was really worried about my range assassination. And with Butcher 3, that's just not really going to happen here. So he could have really turned this one around, and I'm sure if we played again, he would have destroyed me. But hey, I'll take the win. So going on to game 2, and I'm going to be using the Haley 3 list again. And this time I'm going to be up against my buddy Sean. Now Sean I've played against a lot. I thought he should have dropped Lilith 2, but he wanted, I believe, just to unlock his list. So he's going with Thagrosh 2, and he actually made the comment saying, if I lose to you, I should actually just quit the hobby. So keep that in mind. So what happens here, though, is that he has all these, you know, Thagrosh with all this smashy. I have the Rakes get in your face. I got the Seraphs. I got, yeah, just lots of big mean things. And I think I actually have a shot here, because if I can get something on a Thagrosh, I can get the range assassination done. Now the problem with this scenario is that he can spread out and really win it on scenario where I don't have a lot of things to throw out there. So that's going to be a little bit more difficult, but that's all I'm going to do is I'm just going to have to try and play this one where I'm going to delay and look for the assassination. So on his first turn, he runs up and he's getting out Tenacities, and the Seraph on the left, not the Seraph, the Scythian on the left is the one with the +2 armor spell. On my turn, I'm playing it very cautious. I thought maybe I could get in range for some shots, but I couldn't. So otherwise, again, I have Baby Haley and them up there trying to be ready for later, but all I can do is hope he makes a mistake. Now on his turn, this is where I realize I'm probably not going to get that chance. He puts tenacity on the rakes, they run into me just to slow me down, and Thagrosh has that hill, or not the hill, the wall. And as long as he's behind the wall, I'm pretty sure I can't get him. So on my turn, I'm going to go and kill these rakes and probably the Feral Geist. But on his turn, he might even triple score. So yeah, this could start turning around me scenario-wise. And then when I start trying to stop him scenario-wise, attrition-wise, he'll just start destroying all my big stuff. So on the left side, I'm able to go up there with Thunderhead, and he's able to pulse and then auto-hit the rake with shots. So I'm going to kill him there. The Storm Wall is going to come over and kill the right rake. Future Haley is going to shoot down the Feral Geist. Blith and Bull is getting within range of the right flag to contest. I got really lucky where the Storm Strider on the left goes up to contest and shoots and hits that little shredder, really hurting it and bouncing along and killing off the Forsaken as well. So that's great. I killed off that. I'm also contesting there with Rock Bottom, and that's the best I can do. So on his turn, it's going to be Manifest Destiny and Feed Turn and all that stuff, but he starts getting some horrendous dice where he just keeps on missing me or I'm toughing. And so after the Shredder and the Angelius comes after me over here, he is able to destroy the Storm Strider, but he just can't kill Rock Bottom. That little bugger just won't die. So I got really lucky there. And then otherwise, he is going to be able to clear me out on the right, so he's going to get the right flag. He's going to easily destroy my pod in the middle, so he's going to get the middle flag with the Spell Martyr. So scenario-wise, he goes up 2-0, but he's made his one mistake. Thagrosh went onto my side of the hill. This is exactly what I needed. This is my time where I have to go for this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up with Baby Haley. I'm going to Force Hammer. I'm then again going to go, if I need to, do another Force Hammer from the Prime Haley, and then just put all the shots into Thagrosh. And he's only camping 2, and so from all the shots from them, and from the Storm Wall, and from Thunderhead, hopefully that'll be enough to take him down. And especially because over here, one of the things that starts off with some silliness is Rock Bottom with his little sword there actually kills off the Shredder. So just a little side story, but it's always kind of funny when the little dwarf does something. But otherwise, yeah, my first little mistake here was that I wasn't quite far enough over. We actually had to call a judge over to see if the line was right to slam the Seraph into Thagrosh, and it wasn't quite right. I was a little bit lazy with my positioning, so she had to go into a Force Hammer to get the Scythian away. Then Prime Haley went and did a Force Hammer to put the Seraph into Thagrosh. Future Haley starts shooting, pew 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 pew. Thunderhead starts shooting, the Stormwall starts shooting, and actually because of some misses and double ones, it came down to the last shot, and I was able to kill Thagrosh. And this is all because he just made that one mistake. If Thagrosh was on the other side of the wall, I don't think there's any way I win this game, but because he gave that, I was able to pull off this assassination with Haley 3. So, you know, he wasn't very happy with this after the game, but hey, you know, luckily, when the kids put this together, I believe this was my son's list, this is something where I have a ranged assassination here. I can knock you down and go for it. So hooray! Already, my goal for this no chance qualifier was to get 2 wins, and I've already have 2 wins. So now we're on to the secondary objective, which is trying to win with the other list. But I'm going to use this one more time. If you guys remember my games from the Iron Gauntlet, I got to go up against Mitch from Lethbridge, and up against Mitch again. And this time he's doing his Assyria list, and I thought with all this infantry and stuff, I was probably better off with this list here and not the Constance list, so we're going to give this one more try. And my plan up to go with this is he has all these mage hunter assassins and stuff, is that I'm just going to try and electroleak these guys and zap them all down. So that's going to be my plan. Also, Baby Haley can go and do her chain blasts and stuff like that, and if I can get through all of them, I'll be looking pretty good. So I get the first turn, I walk up to be safe, I put up Temporal Flux, and I'm basically just waiting for him to walk into my range. On his turn, he's also pretty careful. Imperatus gets admonition on him. He has a +2 armor onto his halberdiers, but there's not really, like, I was really hoping he'd be dumb and just run things up. But I'm pretty sure I can still get to a lot of his stuff. I'm going to put a pod by the right unit, arc through it basically with the Storm Strider, and then Baby Haley will do some chain blast to the left unit. So on this turn, I pop my feet in order to have enough focus so that Baby Haley can do 2 chain blasts. It does some good damage, kills about half the unit. Otherwise on the right, don't really get the good positioning and leaps I need to do very much there. So I think I killed like 2 of them, but that's it. Otherwise, I tried going up with the Thunderhead to try and disrupt the Imperatus, but I was out of range. And yeah, put down some covering fire, and this is really the best I could do. And on his turn, this was devastating. This was his feet turn, and basically what happened here was that he goes with all of the little shooters there, the Mage Hunter Assassins, Strike Force, whatever, and they shoot down the Storm Wall. Once the Storm Wall's dead, then the Halberdiers can charge through. They do big damage, kill the Thunderhead, damage the Storm Strider. Imperatus comes in and he kills future Haley and the Storm Strider, and I'm just in a whole bunch of trouble here. So looking at this, I thought that, okay, first of all, I'm screwed. But second of all, what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and go and pull off this assassination. Now, the way I'm going to do this is that Baby Haley is going to charge through, and she's going to have to go for like a big slam or something onto Assyria, hopefully get some pretty good damage there, and then Prime Haley is going to go up and dispel with Repudiate some of these upkeeps and get some extra D3s in there. So first of all, just to have some fun, I go in here with Blith and Bull, and they whiff, and then I come in with Strange Ways, and he sprays, and he whiffs. So it's not a good start. And then over here, I forgot that Imperatus has a magical weapon, so on the free strike, then I lose Baby Haley, and basically at this point, it really is over. But I said, screw that, take out your caster card, we're gonna do some damage to you. And so I go and I do Repudiate onto the Halberdiers and onto his Jack there, onto Imperatus. And so I do 6 damage to his caster with that. But yeah, that's basically all I can do. So otherwise on his turn, or at the end of my turn, it looks like this. I mean, I charge in with the Bokur and do, I think I whiff there too. And on his turn, it's pretty easy for Imperatus to kill me. So this was a pretty big beatdown, but honestly, it's something a little bit more than I expected. You know, we still had a lot of fun though, guys. You know, even in one like this here, where things went so bad for me so quickly, just trying to put together something to try something like that was interesting. And you know, again, trying to do that damage to the caster through Repudiate, you know, that's, you know, it's something you can do. So going on to game 4 now, I decided to change gears. It's actually a 6-round event, so I thought, okay, I played 3 games with Haley 3, let's do 3 games of Constance, trying to get a win. And what I'm hoping to do is now work my way to the bottom tables, maybe play someone a little bit more friendly, and get a win there. So again, for those who aren't used to like my list here, which is kind of silly, Constance is running the Stormwall, Junior is running the Hunter and Triumph, and Jake's running nothing, because, you know, why not? My opponent, however, is not a soft opponent whatsoever. Not only am I up against the Raven tier, which was just going to shoot the hell out of me, but this is also David Bocamp. I'm probably messing up that last name. But either way, he is one of the guys who makes Team Canada. He's all the way over from Ontario, and he was like the pair, I was the pair up to his pair down, basically. He was 3-0 going into this. You know, he's a guy that could easily go all the way and win the whole thing. And yeah, this is definitely not one I see I can win. So, like I say, I'm coming into this realizing there's no way I'm going to beat David, but we're going to have fun, and I'm going to make myself, right now, a separate win condition. So here's my thing, guys. If I get 0 control points, that's a loss. If I get 1 control point, that'll be a win. And if I get 2 control points, that's going to be a massacre. That's going to be like, yeah, I did awesome. And so what I'm going to try and do here is I'm going to try and feed him some stuff to try and draw him away, and my goal is to try and destroy his objective and dominate on the right zone. It might take some crazy shenanigans, but I will get Constance into that right zone. So I get first turn, and much like the last game against the Strike Force, I position myself so I can't be shot first turn, putting out, even though he ignores it, why not? I put out Arcane Shield. And then I realized that, oh yeah, he actually has like a little bit of extra range here, and he actually shoots down Jake's. So a little bit of bad positioning there, but whatever. Losing Jake's was not part of my objective. So overall, at the end of his turn, it's still looking okay. Most of his forces are pretty far back. He has nothing in the right zone yet, in my friendly zone. And so what I'm going to do is run up my cav on the left to engage as much as I can, draw him further over there, and then Constance is going to stay back so that she can't die, and then everything else will be going up there as a temptation to try and hold him back and make him just shoot at my jacks. So that's what I really do. You can see Constance is way back. Otherwise, a cav are charged up there. I do go up there and I do a shot with Triumph, and he has an ability where if he uses one focus, he can make an AoE. So he does that and he kills someone. The Stormwall tramples up and he uses a pod to kill somebody. So yeah, I like the Squire's running up there saying, shoot me, shoot me. And really all I want him to do is kill my cav, and I'm now in a spot, hopefully, so that next turn I can destroy his objective. And really, it kind of does work. He goes after my cav on the left, kills them pretty easily, does some damage to me here on the right, but nothing super serious. So he does have one guy in the right zone, but now this is perfect. This is just what I want. I'm going to be having the Triumph and the Hunter go after the objective. Each of them will be a dice -3, so they should do like, 7-8 points each, and then on average should destroy it. And then otherwise, I'm going to need to actually like throw Constance into the zone, and if both those things go off, I get my 2 control points. It doesn't all work though, because first of all, I shoot with the Hunter, do 7 points, that's okay. Then I go to shoot with Triumph, and on dice -3, I roll triple ones. So that objective has failed. What are you gonna do? And then what I do is I run up Constance to be by the Stormwall. The Stormwall moves over, puts a pod down, which zaps the guy in the zone, and then I throw Constance at the pod just to get her into the zone. But unfortunately, the pod was actually a little bit too far, so she scattered. Luckily, scatters into the pod, and I like cranked the damage, so she's like almost dead already, but I dominate the zone and I get 1 control point. And then otherwise, yeah, Narg charges in and I die pretty quickly. So there you go, guys. This one was not like one that I like right from the start off. I did not see any win condition coming from this. It was just such a strong list with such a strong opponent, but we had lots of laughs. We had lots of fun. I really wish I could have played David with like a different list so I could actually give him a closer game, but hey, I'll take it. I got to play against one of Canada's best players and had some fun doing it. Alright, so now that that was done, I'm going into round 5, pulling out the Constance again, and now this is now up against Lionel, who is running the High Reclaimer from Menoth, and he's another guy from Lethbridge I've never played against before. So looking for an interesting game here. He has lots of jacks, which I don't like seeing because I have a lot of shooting in this list. But hey, if I can like maybe pick something out, we'll have to kind of see. I might be able to go for attrition. I can charge in with my knights. Maybe they can take something down. But yeah, this should be a very interesting game. So first turn, I kind of run up here. There's this nice little forest I have that'll protect me from shooting. So Constance gets behind that. And yeah, that's pretty much it. One stupid thing I did is because I ran both the Thunder, or not the Thunderhead, Triumph, and the Hunter, even though the Hunter didn't need to run, I mean I didn't have the focus to put out Arcane Shield. So that was kind of dumb on my part, but yeah, what are you going to do? On his turn, he comes up, but he does not go very far. And in fact, on the left side, he advances and does the Shield Wall order with the Temple Flame Guard. Now, normally when you see that, that's a sign of someone who's, I mean, no offense to Lionel, but normally when you see someone do a first turn shield wall, they're usually pretty new to the game, and that's usually a mistake because you're giving up a lot of board position. So seeing that, where I was going to be trying to go for a little bit more of a long attrition, I'm actually wondering if I can get a jump on scenario here. So what I'm going to try and do is run my Storm Lances right into his grill, making it so I can try and jam him out from the left zone. I'll be towing Constance into there, and then if he doesn't do it right and get someone in there, I'll dominate on his turn, dominate on my turn, and just need one more for the win. So I think that's what I'm going to go for. So you can see that the Lancers are right in his face, trying to be spread out so that the Jacks can't really clear them all out too easily. I also pop my feet because I might as well. I might get a few souls from the 3 knights that are in my range. I get the Arcane Shield onto the Storm Wall, get up some covering fire. I run up Jake's there, and yeah, just trying to wait out, seeing what he does. And unfortunately, I completely misjudged Lionel. He is not a new player. He is not a weak player. He very expertly goes and, you know, from making little extra attacks from vassals and stuff like this, easily kills off all of my Storm Lances, and then his Temple Flame Guard go into Shield Wall and walk into the zone. So basically, I just threw away all those points, and that is devastating. It was a real ballsy move to make, and if I knew Lionel better, I never would have done it. But yeah, I didn't know what type of player he was. I made a big mistake, and I'm in a lot of trouble now. So otherwise, his Zealots on the right pop feet. They're little mini feet, so I can't really hurt them. They run up. You can see High Claimer there is a little bit gray, but he's on the other side of those 3 clouds. Yeah, he killed off all of those guys. My Hunter, he took a few wall-ups and he lost his axe, but otherwise it's not really super bad. And the reason why it's not super bad is because I actually can get onto High Reclaimer. Looking at High Reclaimer there, he is set up in a spot where he is camping nothing and he thinks he's safe, but the Hunter has parry, so I can move away, not take a free strike, and get a shot from the Hunter in. I can't put any focus on him because the Hunter's too far away from the Junior, but at least I get a shot. And as well on the right, he couldn't kill off my Jakes, Allison Jakes, so she can go, and because she as well has parry, I can go and I can energize her to the right and actually charge right into High Reclaimer. So between that and also maybe something with the Storm Wall, I'm pretty sure I can get some big damage on High Reclaimer right now. And so that's what I do. The Hunter moves back, takes a shot, doesn't really get anything done, but whatever. Jakes goes in, charges in, and unfortunately just doesn't get the damage she needs. I mean, really, it was a POW 10, so I did kind of need to spike some dice. Got some damage, not too much. Stormwall tramples in and then puts down a pod and boosts the damage, and so that does some okay damage. I believe that High Reclaimer is down to maybe 6-7 boxes left, something like that. So he's hurting, but yeah, now I'm just gonna hope that whatever he does, I can do something to catch him and tag him from those last little boxes. Otherwise, the Squire toes his own so I don't lose the left one, and all I can do at this point is wait. So on his turn, he destroys the Hunter. He gets into my face there with the Temple Flame Guard. The Avatar goes and does the Gaze of Menoth and runs up. So now Constance can't run away. I'm going to have to deal with that Avatar. Otherwise, he also destroys Triumph, destroys my Tinker, kills Jakes. But he's now sitting there with the High Reclaimer behind those clouds, and I can still get to him. Because what I can do is I can still get over, trample over rather, and do my little pod thing again. That's all I got, but hey, if I spike those dice, I might get it. So that's what I do. I come over here and I drop that pod, spiking, hoping to get some really good damage, and it's just not. It's not good dice. I think I do a couple, but this was my last big chance and it didn't really work. So otherwise, Constance just stands there. I can't really do anything else. I think I make one attack and kill one guy or something, but that's really it. So on his turn, he comes into me, and Constance is a freaking boss. You know, all the Temple Flame Guard, they come in and they like kill the Squire, and they do like a little bit of damage to Constance, and then the Avatar charges in, but after some misses and a low damage roll and stuff, yeah, Constance tanks the Avatar and these Temple Flame Guard. So very, very impressed with that. Now do keep in mind that she was camping quite a bit, but yeah, way to go, Constance. I get another chance at this. And so after his turn, he also comes over here, all of his jacks, you know, picking on the storm wall. The storm wall survives, but it loses like half of its body and stuff, so that's pretty bad. Also now, because he has all those heavies in my way, there's no way I can trample over and get another pod. But look at this, guys. If you look at the way he put his clouds, the storm wall can't get to him, but Constance can. And so here's my plan. I am going to go with Constance. I am going to go and do a flashing blade and kill off all of these Temple Flame Guard. Then I'm going to charge over, or walk over. Actually, I just need to walk over, and I can try and hit him with a spell. And I can boost it, and I can boost the damage, and if all that goes through, I actually have a really good shot at killing him. Now, the only bad part about this is that I will have to take a free strike from the Avatar, but you know, he might fail the hit, he might fail the damage roll, but I do have one more shot. So I go with my flashing blade, and I kill all these guys here, and so that was really awesome, just to see, you know, Constance kill all these guys for one focus. But when I go to walk up, I take my free strike, he hits, and he kills, and even though I'm just looking at High Reclaimer there, I just can't do it, and I lose the game. So, again, really, really fun game. Really wish I would have known my opponent better, so I wouldn't have just gone for that ballsy scenario move. But in the end, I actually decided I was going to drop out of the event now, because the idea of going to the bottom tables was a complete falsehood, because at this point, as people lose, they drop and go to scrambles or just drop. And so really, if I get another game, it's going to be against another like high winning player that probably was like 3-2 or something, and it's just not going to get better for Constance. I really felt this was her best shot. I gave it my best, but the dice just weren't really there. And you know what? I was happy with this game. Constance did well. So at the end of the day, I did get my 2 wins. I didn't get a win with the Constance list, but I had lots of fun with it. I also learned lots about Jakes as well. Usually Jakes just runs things and, you know, stands back and gives out focus, but she can do some pretty cool stuff up there as well. So either way, guys, thanks for watching this. I'll have more thoughts on this in my final thoughts video, but if you have any thoughts on the games or my lists or the whole concept of the no chance qualifier, please put your comments down below, and I'll catch you later. Bye. Hey there, if you liked watching this video, please go down and give it a like down below you here. And if you have any concerns or questions or comments, please put those in the comment section as well. You know, the best way for me to give you what you want to see is if you tell me what you like seeing and what you don't like seeing. So otherwise, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you later.